Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
Jason Levine.
I just realized I'm not wearing a hat. I can't do this.
Yeah, you can do it hatless.
I'm not doing it hatless,
it's
man.
It's sort of raining outside at the moment. Not
right,
really.
Just as, so for those of you who might be watching this later, we're recording this in the middle of Hurricane
Matthew.
Now here's the deal. Hurricane Matthew is, fortunately for us and not so fortunately for the Orlando and the East Coast, is keep going north. Now we're probably going to get a lot of rain and wind and stuff here, but so far it's been fairly mundane here in Homestead. Now it's probably more dangerous at your house.
Probably, but I boarded up. I boarded up everything. I know, Tom, for me it was a new thing to board up my house, so I wasn't used to it. I don't know if everyone could see this picture. I'll kind of hold it up closer. I had to put literally shutters on everything, including my garage. And my back looks like this.
I don't think you've showed that picture to like 1,000 people yet.
I did send it out on my Facebook. Well, you know, coming from New York, this is the first time I've ever been through one, so I was like, it was kind of exciting, the shutter, but yet still nerve-wracking, because what if it does come and smash through the houses? And, you know, it's an interesting thing to be here at the moment. I've never felt gusting winds at 100 miles an hour, so we'll kind of see what happens.
We'll see. So anyway, my house is safer than Jason's currently. Actually, probably not, because you probably have yours more armored up than mine. But he came down here for the next 24 hours, and we will be sadly playing games. So far today we've played, what have we played? Well, I played BattleCon before you got here. Then when you got here, we played Clank.
Clank, which was really, really good.
Yeah, it's a really great deck building game. And then we just played Islebound.
Yes, Islebound was really good too.
Yeah, it was really surprising to see how much I enjoyed that one. That was the first time I played that one. That wasn't the first time I played Clank. And when we're done here, we're likely going to be moving into Grand Prix racing. So, trying to make today a good day of gaming, but we'll probably end up eventually playing some of that garbage.
It's a hurricane party, so, you know, all gaming all the time.
All right, so we'll take some questions from people. Remember, we don't answer every question, and asking your question multiple times does not guarantee that it will get answered. Someone asked about my review of Cyclades Hades. I have never reviewed it, and I don't think I've actually played it. All right, let's see. You guys mentioned a teardown setup time of HeroScape. Do we ever substitute HeroClix for a quick and similar feel? I don't know if have you ever played HeroClix?
Yeah, when it was still Mage Knight back in the day.
So you played HeroClix 1?
Yeah, the original version.
I know that they've changed a lot in the recent version. I don't know. I don't play HeroClix for the same reason I don't play Android Netrunner, because the metagame is just beyond me. No, also, I don't have time to keep up with the 6 million sets. We barely keep up with Dice Masters.
Yeah. No, but it's cool. I love the whole concept of the spinning wheel underneath, and that's kind of your power, and as you get hit, and I like the way they created the system. I think it's a great little system for a minis combat game.
Do you guys think nostalgia gives our #1 games more credence than they deserve? Your #1 is Diplomacy, right?
No, my #1 was 1830.
Oh, 1830, okay.
Or 18X.
I rarely hear of a new game taking over someone's top spot. Well, here's the thing. I actually don't think nostalgia... I think nostalgia does have it for a lot of people. A lot of people say, I like this game. Are you sure? But I'll tell you why, for example, for me, Cosmic Encounter is not nostalgia. Because I still play it. I'm not playing it out of nostalgia. I'm playing it because I really like it. I play it more than almost any other game in my collection. And if another game comes along, I mean, Cosmic Encounter is my #1. Oh wait, I'm giving away my top 100, which is being posted.
Cosmic Encounter is not #1 yet this year.
Yeah.
It might change. In fact, it might be a new game that might take over.
There are other new games in the top 100 that are brand new this year that I like. I'm not like bound by nostalgia. And like 1830...
I played at least 400 or 500 games of different 18X games over my life. And, you know, I still play it. When we were at the Gathering, I played like 3 games of it. I played it at World Board Gaming Championships. It's a game that I play all the time. So it's #1 because I love it and I play it. But spoiler alert, there's a new game this year that's going to end up in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
In your top 10?
In my top 10 of all time. There's a new game that came out this year that's in my top 10 of all time.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm not spoiling anything about mine because we have to wait till Sunday before that. Do you have insurance in your games?
Yes and no. I have house insurance which covers property, so I have a good amount of value for property damage inside of the house in addition to the external. So if there is floods and if my game collection does, if we have more than 8 inches of rain or 12 inches or however, because my games are all on shelves, but if the rain got that high and started ruining some of the cardboard, then I do have a blanket policy on my house that would cover that. So I'm not too concerned about that. Obviously, I don't want to walk into my house and have a big, a river going through the house because that would be bad regardless. So I'm hoping it doesn't happen.
Someone asked about Derek. Derek is fine. In fact, he will be here shortly to join us at Hurricane Con.
That's what we're calling it now?
Yeah, Hurricane Con.
Hurricane Con. In fact, Dice Tower Con is being officially changed to Hurricane Con.
Now, let's hope that we don't have to repeat this convention too often. But if we have to, we will. And if the power, I thought about actually toying with you guys and having the power go out halfway through this, and we just start screaming in waterfall. That would be a mean joke.
If it does go out for real, though, what do we do in the middle of this?
Who played BattleCon and who won? I played Melody, and we switched off the game. I won one game, and she won the rest. Are you guys excited about Star Wars Destiny? Well, here's the sad thing for Jason. If it wasn't for the hurricane, the package for Star Wars Destiny would have shown up today.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But I got an email that said that they are rescheduling it due to inclement weather.
UPS!
That's not... Yeah, because you expect them to travel around at gale force winds.
Why not? Did the United States Postal Service had that whole thing with the mailman, we deliver in rain, sleet, and snow, and hurricane? Obviously not.
Now, we played the Star Wars Destiny already. We played with just the starter sets. When this comes, I think we'll be able to see some of the booster packs. But here's the deal.
It's awesome.
I really like the game, but my review of it will not be going up till November 1st because they've asked us to hold off on some of the stuff. There's like a media embargo on some of the things. So rather than figure out which things I can talk about early, I'm just holding everything off to November 1st. So my full review will be going up then. How do you guys store small box games in your shelves? Do you doubles, triple stack? You can't see the ones on the back. Okay, so for example, these fill up the whole shelf. What about the small ones that only come a little bit farther? Do you put them behind each other?
No, well, you've seen my shelves.
But they haven't. They're the ones asking the questions.
So what I have is I have those ones you get at Home Depot, those plastic shelves. They're in my whole garage is filled with them. And the end cap.
I don't know why he doesn't own Calyx, but all right, whatever.
I do have Calyx in my house where it's nicer wood, but in the garage, who cares? It's a garage.
That's right. Put those garbage games in the garage. No,
it's just because those shelves have a big bottom layer before the shelf starts, so it's more waterproof.
Well, that's what I have in my garage too, but my games in my garage are unknown quantities currently.
Yeah. So what happens is my garage is air conditioned. In case anyone's wondering, my garage is air conditioned, so I don't have to worry about that part of it. So I have all the games, in one side or in the other side, and the games go up against each other because that's how wide the shelf is. But then on the end caps of all the rows, I put all the little games on the end caps, and they kind of fill up like where the posts are. On that section, on the end caps,
is where I put corners, basically.
Yeah, and it fills up. It fills up nicely. It looks nice when you walk around the side. You see this whole layer of little card games and stuff.
And for me, I do one of two things. First of all, some of the boxes I get rid of, and I put them in those little plastic containers, which drives him nuts. And the other time I use these there's storage bins. You can't see them now, but you've seen them in some of my reviews where they're in the background. I just put a bunch of games in there. I can pull them out and look at them. I agree that little games are a pain to store, for sure. Have either of you played the original or new version of Escape from Kolitz? Well, neither one of us has played the new one. Have you played the original?
I have played the original.
Do you like it?
Very much so.
Are you excited about the reprint? It's coming to Essen.
Yes, it's a hidden movement game. And you're trying to escape, and there's guards trying to get you, and it's a hidden movement. So you're it's sort of I guess, similar to Nuns on the Run or something in that vein where you're moving around secretly and the guards are trying to catch you. Very, very good game. I think it's one of the first hidden movement games of all time, or it's got to be close to one of the first because it came out years ago, the original.
It's an 80s game, right?
I think so, or 70s. It's old, but it's very good.
I'm hoping that they've streamlined it a bit, though. But we'll see. Someone says, why do you store games vertically? Because they look better, and it's easier to pull them out, right? So if I pull this one out, I can just pull it straight out like this. If they're on top of each other, I have to, pick them up and pull them out. and they're also sitting on top of each other, which can damage the boxes, as if I care about that, but some people do.
See, you do the opposite of me. I put all mine flat on top of each other because I don't want anything to fall out of the inserts, but I know you taught your inserts anyway, so for you, sideways works better.
Tom, I thought you had mentioned a big box coming for a game that might surprise people a few weeks back. That was Mechs vs. Minions. That's what I was talking about. And I thought that would surprise people because who was expecting Riot Games to get into the board game business? They're not in the board game business. They made Mechs vs. Minions, but that's still...
And at the price point they made, I think they've set a whole new standard for the board game industry. I hope they've set a whole new standard for the board game industry.
Do you think Mechs vs. Minions plays well as a two-player game? I think Mechs vs. Minions works well as a two-player game as long as you both play two robots. That's what I would do. I mean, it's up to you guys to decide how to do that. But some people don't like controlling more than one character. I actually really like controlling more than one character, so I'm cool with that.
No, it's either way playing it. It's an amazing game. I'm very hyped about it as well, and I don't know, has he put up his Games of the Month yet?
Yes, that went up yesterday. We both put it on as our Game of the Month.
Both of us had it as the Game of the Month. It's that good of a game, and I can't wait till October 13th because my copy's coming. In fact, Kenny, who we love so much, who actually helped me put up all those panels on my house, Kenny's the one who's going to be getting it for me because we'll be at Essen when it comes out. So, very excited.
Someone asked about Risk Europe. I have not played it yet. I do have a copy of it. I'm starting to hear more and more good things about it, that you basically could take risk out of it. Maybe. Maybe we'll play it at Hurricane Con.
Risk Europe?
We got plenty of time.
This is a 24-hour gaming session. I don't know. Tom's going to want to go to sleep, but I can stay up 24 hours if the thunder gets too loud.
When making a top 10 list or another video, do you ever suddenly desperately want to play a game on a list you might have forgotten about? Oh yeah, sometimes I'm going through the list, I'm like, oh man, I need to play that game. That happens occasionally.
Yes.
I'm a Jays fan, or am I watching the game in an hour? I'm a very, very casual Blue Jays fan, as in, I'm like, oh, there's a game in an hour you just mentioned to me. Did not know that. My news has been somewhat dominated by the clouds.
It's a playoff. The playoff started this week.
I understand. I knew the playoffs were going on. I didn't know there was a game in and out. What I'm saying is I don't keep that close of track of it. I'll root for the Blue Jays. Don't ask me who's on the team.
You were at a game this year. Did we not go to a game?
We did. No, I know. I like going to a game. I think that sort of thing is fun. I just don't go out of my way.
Yeah, that was a good experience. We went to the game with everyone at the gathering. Ignacy was interesting. He had no idea what was going on, but we had a blast out there.
Let's see. What's a good starting point for Dice Masters? Do you know what set you would recommend?
Even though I know it's out of print, I'd still say the first set because it gets you in with all the basics. You don't have to worry about.
Well, so it's out of print. So
the more
advanced. That's not out of print.
Any of them. I mean,
some of them
are all good.
See, I highly disagree with that. Some of them, for example, I would highly not recommend the War of Light DC one because it's so inclusive and has black rings and...
Okay, yeah.
So I would recommend... And Dungeons & Dragons is cool, but I almost would... That's like a second set. For me, I think the best set to jump in is the Spider-Man set. It had the easiest stuff to do, although the new Deadpool set isn't that difficult either.
And the Batman and Superman set was really good.
Yeah, that's true. The Batman vs. Superman set for the DC. Have I watched Interstellar yet? I have. It was a very good movie. If the two of you had to agree on one game that we could play the rest of our lives, what would it be?
That we'd both have to play together for the rest of our lives?
Well, what's your top 10? Off the top of your head. Okay, you get Diplomacy. I'm not playing that.
Diplomacy, Puerto Rico.
Nah.
War of the Ring.
Nah.
Robo Rally was in it. I know you like that.
Maybe. I don't know if I want to play Robo Rally.
Formula D was in it.
Eh.
I don't know what else. I had a few other. Dice Masters was in it. Dice Masters was number 10.
Dice Masters, that's us.
Dice Masters was number 10, I think.
All right, so Dice Masters would have to be it because Dice Masters is pretty high on my list.
And I have everything for 2 players, as everyone knows, so I could bring my whole set. We'd have like the giant crate of Dice Masters coming with us.
That's true. I was thinking, if there's one game you're going to play the rest of your life, it better be a lifestyle game. A game that there's so much of that you will probably never get bored with the amount of stuff that's in it. Jason, do you keep not so good games in your collection just to have them?
Yes. Well, if I buy a game, I usually keep it.
You are considering changing this.
We have been talking about I know Tom wants me to do this Guinness thing. So after the Guinness thing happens, we're talking about doing a Jason.
He's talking about the Guinness Book of World Records, not the beer.
Yes. So I might have a Jason sells his games thing or something and sell a bunch of them and rotate my collection. I don't know. I don't know exactly how I will do it yet, but I might be considering doing that. And, if anyone purchases them, I'll sign them. We'll do whatever. We'll do something cool with it, as always.
When do you guys leave for Germany? I will be leaving Monday. You will be leaving Tuesday. And someone else asked, how would we have done if today was the travel day? Well, you know what?
We wouldn't have.
It's life. I would not have been happy about that. In fact, I'd have been extremely displeased about that. But as the years go by, I think I would have gotten over it. I mean, I would prefer to be alive than at Essen.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the airport by me, the Fort Lauderdale airport, is closed at the moment. The airport here, Miami airport, they said is on major delay, and they're letting some planes out.
The airport is open, but the airlines are delaying. The airport doesn't really, it doesn't matter if the airport's open. If the airlines aren't running, it doesn't,
Well, my airport's completely shut, the one in Fort Lauderdale, and they said that
I suspect
35 mile per hour or more winds, they won't even take planes off in Miami.
I suspect Miami airport will be open by tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
And I suspect Fort Lauderdale airport will be open by Saturday. I'm just guessing on both of those, but that seems to be the case.
Well, they said the alert, I've been told, by my office, the reason I'm here is because I didn't have to work today because they shut down our building. And I was told that 2 o'clock tomorrow they're going to send us an alert on whether they reopen the building or wait longer.
Jason, what game or games do you particularly enjoy crushing Tom at?
Well, it doesn't happen often. But if I ever do win a game of Cosmic, I will enjoy that so much. I don't think I've ever won in our group yet, have I? Because someone always beats on me or someone doesn't team with me when I'm like, just team with me, I want to be part of it. But if I beat Tom in Cosmic, I would feel really good.
Didn't you and I win together once?
Yeah, but that's not beating you. That's not crushing you.
He crushes me in a lot of games. I beat him today, though, in Clank.
In Clank, yes. Clank was really, really good.
Of course, then he beat me in Islebound. So.
Have you done the review of Clank yet?
I have.
Clank is amazing for those of you who haven't played it. It's like a deck builder, sort of like Ascension or like the, whatever, DC deck builder, that the whole Cryptozoic 1000 deck builders that are the same thing. But it's got a board and you're moving around and it's pressure luck to try to get the top. It's an amazing game. Renegade did a great job on it. I'm getting it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, I tell you, I did the review for Clank and I was like, excellent game, great game. And then I was getting rid of it and I was like, I really like it. So then I was like, all right, I'll keep it. Now that I've kept it for a while, it's staying in my collection for a while. I really enjoy it. All right, let's see here. You said in your 40 years of great gaming that Catan rolled the 90s, Ticket to Ride rolled the aughts. So what is rolling the teens? Pandemic, maybe? Pandemic is pretty powerful because, I mean, not only is there Pandemic, it spawned Pandemic Legacy. Dominion came out in 2008. Dominion was pretty strong in the beginning of the teens, but it's starting to fade somehow.
No, Pandemic's probably the biggest of the last couple years, I'd say. I don't know what's bigger. I think what's bigger, I mean, X-Wing, if you had like X-Wing maybe.
Oh, that's true.
If you want to consider that. But that's really not a game. That's like you're collecting a bunch of minis to play.
You mean it's not a board game, it's a miniatures game.
It's not a board game, it's a miniatures game really, where you're collecting a bunch of miniatures which then form the game.
Yeah, but man, now that you say that, X-Wing is definitely outselling everything else. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Pretty powerfully. In some stores, X-Wing is rivaling Magic in sales. That's crazy to me.
It's Star Wars, which is awesome.
All right, let's see. I've been wanting to get Rum and Bones, but I'm confused. It's only a 2-player game. I never heard anyone talk about the 2 to 6 aspect. Rum and Bones is one of those games, it's like War of the Ring. They're like, oh, this is 2 to whatever, and it's just 2 players. Yeah. They're like, oh, you want to play with 4 players? You
each person's a character.
Half the people. Oh, you want to play with more than that? Then you play 1/3, and it's like, oh. I mean, if you want to do that, you could play any game with 4 players. I could say Battleship is a 4-player game. I'll control the submarine, and come on. Stop saying this. It's a 2-player game.
Yes.
Let's see. The games behind me. Which of these games do I think I could beat Jason in confidently? Ugh. I don't know that I could confidently beat Jason at any game. Okay, actually, I not maybe I don't see it right here on me, but I know I can confidently beat Jason in Dragon's Gold.
Yes.
Because he gets too flustered in that 1 minute negotiation.
Yes, and I'm always like, I want this. How about we do this? And then the people never want to negotiate or split the treasure equally. They always want a little bit more treasure, but I always want to split it equally, and we have an argument.
That's a tough call, though. I think most of these games Jason would probably beat me at.
Not Cosmic, wherever it is.
I feel pretty good about Cosmic, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Timeline Challenge?
Oh, yeah. It depends which version of the game we play.
I know a lot. Well, yeah, if we play movies, I'm in trouble. But if we play history, I might have them. All right, Jason, do you still have hope that you can convince Tom to play Food Chain Magnet with you?
I'm assuming so. It's still waiting here.
There's a possibility it will be played at Hurricane Con. Let's not get too excited.
Okay, that just made my day. If we do that, just made my day.
What game is your favorite graphic design? This is really hard to determine right now, but I'll tell you a game that I played recently which graphic design blew me away, and that is Hit Z Road. Because it just looked so good. It looked like a kid had made a game. And it wasn't like bad looking. It was hard to explain.
No, I love like the deck of cards and the way the back, everything about it looks. That's a very good art game. It's not my favorite graphic design.
No, I'm just saying that's a recent one that really astounded me. I was like, wow, that's really good. Like Ryan Lockett's games, we just played Islebound. All his games always, I feel like,
great graphics.
We never sit there and go, what does that symbol mean? They're really easy to figure out. Man, I keep thinking about the Islebound game.
It was good.
I'm like ready to jump in that again. That was a really interesting game.
Have you reviewed it?
I have not.
Okay, then I won't spoil too much yet. But it's
No.
Islebound.
Well, we can say we like the game. I mean,
No, I won't spoil like all the mechanics. But Islebound was.
No, that's again.
I liked it a lot. He had amazing things going on in it. Very amazing things.
Let's see here. Is there a chance of Terra Mystica expansion review? Well, Jason likes Terra Mystica, but I do not.
Fire and Ice? Well, maybe at some point when I start doing solo reviews again, Fire and Ice I could do a review on. I love the game.
This person says, Jason, which games are you excited about for Essen? He's not as up on the games coming out.
I haven't looked at the list. Tom's supposed to, again, give me the website, so I'm going to take these papers when I leave tomorrow.
Just take the papers. They're right over there.
I know, the papers that have the list of games. I haven't even looked yet. We've been in Jose Fernandez.
That West game you're interested in, I know that
Which one?
The one by that design team.
Oh, Grand Western Railway?
Yeah, you know you're interested in that.
Of course, yeah. Yes, but I've been in Jose Fernandez dying mode and hurricane mode for the last 2 weeks, so it's been... I've been busy at work, and I haven't even looked. Basically, I'm going to walk, and I'm going to be in awe. It's going to be like a kid in a candy shop when I get there and be like, wow, I didn't know this was coming out. Oh, look, that's amazing.
One of the things that I should mention, we're calling it Hurricane Con, not Hurricane, because Hurricane is actually the name of a convention that took place a few weeks ago, actually, in Orlando, Florida. It's mostly a miniatures convention.
Yeah.
But I wonder, that's kind of ironic that they had that convention and now Orlando's going to get smacked.
Get
but even weirder had it happened
smacked
while they were having the convention. But, Tom, do you plan on doing the 40 years of great gaming every year? Oh, no. No, I might do it again at 45 years or something. We'll see. How many games would you have if you had an unlimited space for them?
Every game ever? No, not every game ever, but I would, if I had like the Cool Stuff warehouse to store games, I would be like, I would keep every game ever, I think.
If I had unlimited space, I think I would open it up as a public area for gaming, and then I would be able to have a whole pile of games.
And anyone could pull out whatever they want to play at any time. You know, like, oh, I remember that game. Let's play it, and boom, there it is. That would be the most intense thing ever.
The setup time effect deciding to play a game. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if a game takes a while to set up and we only have an hour and a half, we might decide not to do it.
Yeah, not for me so much, you know.
No, but I mean, no, it has to. Like, if you have 90 minutes, you're not going to pull out a game that has a long setup time.
True, but in general...
Jason has no internal clock.
I don't.
Like, oh, I'll be like, I have to leave at 11. He's like, well, I don't.
Let's set up the game and go, even if it takes 90 minutes to set up.
Tom, did you find your name hidden on a table in Dragon and Flagon? Did you show me that?
I didn't, but I did see it when I was putting it together. There's all these scribbles and writings on the tables, like it's like people carved in the wood.
I think they might have asked me, and I think I said fine. Is that a normal thing in Stronghold games? Steve does all kinds of unusual things. I don't mind like having my name hidden and stuff like that. I just don't want many more vassal characters in games. Does Jason think Talisman is awesome?
What's the opposite of the word awesome? That's what I think of Talisman.
Oh, you hate Talisman too?
Yes.
High five!
Talisman
awful.
Hate. It's awful. Awful is the opposite of awesome, and it's awful.
The reason I don't, here's the thing.
I have it.
Talisman is an interesting idea. I like the idea of taking different characters and leveling up and all that jazz. But Talisman, for me, you roll a die and you pick which direction you go in. That's the choice you make.
It's like Monopoly. It's boring.
And then you land on a space,
out.
and you, like, let's say you land on a monster. You draw a monster, and that monster could be a powerful dragon, or it could be a goblin. It could be an amazing thing. It could be a bad thing. You don't really have any choices. You just draw cards and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I have the whole Games Workshop set for some reason, including like the spacescape and the dungeon and the whatever. But no, I hate it.
What are your thoughts on Feast for Odin?
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm deciding where I rank it in my Uwe games because his games are so amazing. Lahav's my favorite, but it might be my second favorite at this point.
Wow.
I love Agricola too. I like Agricola better than Caverna.
All right,
but
well, we're going to have to shut this show down now, guys. That's why I beat him into submission.
Feast for Odin might be my second favorite. I mean, he took the patchwork. He told me when I talked to him last year that he had designed Feast for Odin first, but then took out the mechanic of the patchwork. And the patchwork mechanic in this is really cool. And then the game itself, the actions, I mean, it's amazing. I don't know if it'll beat Lahav, but it's still too new. I've only played it twice so far, so I don't know. But I'm very excited for it. I think it's a worthy acquisition for everyone's collection, especially if you're an Uwe Rosenberg fan. Incredible.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it some more. We were just talking about this before you got here, Maddie said we're not playing that against Jason because he'll destroy us. And I said, I think I might be able to take him this time.
Probably, because you know how to do islands. The first game, I filled up the whole board, but I didn't even debate getting an island. And of course, I filled it up by putting holes around all the special things, so I was getting all the special powers along the way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it definitely has a learning curve. You need to play several games. And after playing several games, I'm like, okay, I feel like I know better what I'm doing, but that's still like, for me, I need like a 3-game handicap on Jason.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, you said that Tomb the board game was panned, but have you ever played it? I haven't. This was one of AEG's original board games that got panned pretty hard, and so I just never got around to getting it. And I know before you send me emails saying, oh, but you should try it, it's great. It's out of print, so there's no point.
Yeah.
Also, some people I really trust told me it was bad. Jason, what game do you think will be #1 on this year's People's Choice? So of 2016 so far, what do you think the people are going to vote for #1?
Well, I really think there's a few games that I think have consideration, but I think the one that's going to get voted People's Choice is going to be Star Wars Rebellion.
Think so, huh?
I've seen every single person I ever see playing that game, I think absolutely loves it, and I think Star Wars Rebellion is going to be People's Choice. Have you ever seen anyone not enjoy that game?
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of people who would never play it. There's a lot of people who don't want to play a 2-hour-long, 3-hour game, you know. The people who play it are people who are predetermined to like it.
True, but I can't think of another game that I think will. I think that's the one. I mean, I think that's going to win everything this year.
Mechs and Minions gets a wider release, that has a possibility. Just saying.
It'll be on 30,000 people's #1s. Actually, no, it'll be on 29,999 #1s.
Cry Havoc. Cry Havoc is getting some love. Some people are going to really like
Terraforming
Feast
Mars.
for Odin. Terraforming Mars is getting a lot of positive buzz.
Great, but I still think Star Wars Rebellion is the game of the year. By far.
All right. What's the city of Essen like?
I
don't know enough, really. Well, I've gone around Essen some, and we've gone to. It's great for what it is. We're not really there touristing or shopping. We eat, and Essen is the most exhausting convention because you start at 10 in the morning, and because it takes a while to get there, you're leaving like at 9, or we leave at 8 because we can get in there at 9. So we're leaving at 8 to get to Essen. We get in there at 9, and then we are there till 7 at night. Then you have to shut down. By the time we get to where we're eating, it's 8 o'clock. We eat, and that's it.
And that takes 5 hours because they serve at a different pace than they do in America.
Yeah, this is something I really struggle with. It's like, oh, when's the food coming?
An hour and a half from now.
When they feel like it, and you're like, oh, okay.
But we can tell you about the 2 blocks around the Mezzi. That's about it we've explored. But this year, spoiler alert, we're not staying at the normal hotel. We're staying at a house, a bed and breakfast house. And so we'll get to see more of the city this time. But driving to it from Dusseldorf, it's a very nice, I mean, the buildings are gorgeous, the little houses. I love the point, what do you call it, the style, the pointing roof style of the German style houses. I love the architecture. So it's a cute little town.
All right, I lost the questions here, but Jason, your parents, have you ever played any board games with them?
Yeah, I mean, well, years ago when I first started gaming, my parents bought me all those other games like Monopoly, Careers, Life, Clue, Risk, and we used to play that. We used to play as kids, Stratego. And then I guess when I was just getting out of college and I was in New York when I first started, I got my dad to play Starfarers of Catan, the 2-player one, the Starships of Catan. I got him to play that with me. Not often though, they're not gamers, but they'll play stuff. I mean, they were both math teachers, so they're with it when it comes to thinking things out logically.
Okay, we are obviously like 500 questions behind, so I'm going to skip to the interesting ones. Jason, what's your worst gaming experience?
Worst? I don't know. I usually have a good time no matter what we do, so I don't know if I have a worst experience.
You definitely have come back from some games and you're like, I need to get out of this game over here. You've done that to me before.
That's, depending who's at the table, that's a different story.
Remember that game of, what was that, Ants game that you were in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I do have some stories. Like when I was playing a game of...
Keep the names ambiguous.
Lords of Waterdeep, and the guy in 5th place decided to attack me when I was in 4th place because he didn't want to be 5th place, he wanted to be 4th. Instead of attacking the leader, he attacked the guy in 4th place, just so he could be 4th instead of 5th.
I can't even imagine you would be in 4th place. How's that possible?
I was in 4th place, and I got attacked by the guy in 5th.
Jason, go Yankees?
Yes, go Yankees. What do you mean? They're not even in the playoffs.
That's true. Let's see. We're skipping down. How do you think the new Doom game will compare to Descent? I don't think it will. I think Doom's about shooting aliens and not like a campaign system. I don't think, anyway.
Maybe. I don't know.
Did you guys like Above and Below? It's very pretty, but I think it's very lacking. I liked it. I just didn't love it.
I agree. I didn't love it. I wanted to use the book more and thought it was going to be more like Arabian Nights, but it wasn't. The book was barely used.
The book is fine. The book is great, actually. The problem with the book is that the stories aren't very... It doesn't feel like the story... I don't know how to explain it. One thing for sure is the stories aren't integral to the game. I felt like you could do stuff that wasn't those stories and you could be okay.
He basically took the good parts of that and made Islebound a better game.
Jason, take off your glasses and stare into the camera lovingly. Okay.
Really?
That's what it said. Matt...
I can't see.
Matt to War of the Ring. Why do you hate Fun Time? No. I wasn't saying Matt. War of the Ring's fine. I just don't want to play War of the Ring the rest of my life only. That's all. I was trying to think of a game that I went... Like, War of the Ring, I think after the 6th time I'd be like... All right.
I beat him 6 times in a row. He'd hate me.
What other games are there?
He'd be looking for Wilson. Like, he'd be like, I got to get away from Jason. I need Wilson.
That's true. Tom House Pandemic Legacy going with your family. Well, we played the second game, first game of February, and they lost. They were They were disappointed by that, to say the least. I said, hey, do you want to play again? And they were kind of like, no, we must go recover from our loss. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. And the thing was, they were almost winning. They almost won the second one. They like had it wrapped up. The next turn, someone was going to win, and all of a sudden, break out. You know how that happens sometimes in Pandemic.
Yes.
Will we see if my family's played through of Pandemic Legacy? Nah, I'd rather keep that to myself if that's okay, and not everything in the Vassal family has to be public. Have you played Innis yet?
No, I haven't. I saw you playing it. I want to try it. All I've heard is mixed things, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about it.
Jason, do you ever play solo games?
Yeah. Friday. Friedman Freeze's Friday. Have you played that one?
I have not.
It's really good. I also play The Hunters, the GMT game. Trying to think what else I've played. I mean, obviously I've played Pandemic solo, but playing 4 characters at once. But actual solo games, I think Friday's an amazing game. I also think Onirums and Equilibrium are both really good solo games. I want to get that Coffee Roaster, but you can't get it anywhere. So at some point I want to play Coffee Roaster.
I have an extra copy.
Okay, I might be playing Coffee Roaster soon. And I like Hostage Negotiator also.
It's in one of those boxes, though.
I might be digging 2 boxes later.
Cthulhu Wars worth $400.
We've talked about this. I love Cthulhu Wars. I think it's a really good game, which I was surprised because all he hyped was the minis. But I wish he made another version with smaller minis and made it for a reasonable price point because I don't think it's worth $400.
All right, let's see. What do you guys think of the deck builder Nightfall?
The old one?
It's not that old, but yeah.
It's old.
I like Nightfall, right? Nightfall's an interesting idea. It lets you have some decks that only you can buy from. That's cool. It has the chaining mechanism.
The chaining.
I don't feel like it's very thematic. Like, after a while, you're like, does it matter if I'm a vampire, a werewolf, or human? The stories are interesting, the cards, but after a while, I felt like it just wasn't, it didn't keep me engaged as much. I liked it, but I wasn't sitting around going, ooh, I can't wait to play it again. I was like, these are the colors, so I want purple chaining the blue. Oh, that doesn't exist in this game. Okay, so then, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. When Dominion, when I get a card and I see a card, I'm thinking, ooh, so how does that work with Throne Room? That's like always my first thought about any new card. I'm like, how does that work with Throne Room?
Yeah.
What happens if I play that with this card? And I don't know how to explain it. When I hear about a Dominion card, I instantly say, oh, this is how this card is going to work in the game. When I heard about new Nightfall cards, I was like, oh, that's cool. I guess I'd have to see it played to figure it out.
Yeah, but I do like the chaining mechanism. That was the coolest part of it.
Have you seen the new cover for Adrenaline? Looks really good.
I haven't. I've only seen the original. But Adrenaline, Tom hasn't played it. I've played it, I think, like 4 times now. Adrenaline might be up there for Game of the Year. It's that good. It's amazing.
Have you considered a full-time mass market reviewer? I feel like I'm the full-time mass market. I'm the one who reviews most of the mass market games for the Dice Tower.
Yeah.
People always, sometimes they're like, why are you wasting your time? You could be reviewing so many other games. No, I really couldn't, because mass market games are so easy to play and review.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of them still aren't that great, but every once in a while they are.
The Star Wars balloon game was great.
Did you play that one with me?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I picked up a copy with you too on the Force Day, or what was that day called when I got all the games?
September 4th was Force Day, I guess. Fourth Day, I don't know what it was. That was last year. They didn't do that this year, you know.
That's because it's not a real Star Wars movie. It's Rogue One.
It's amazing. It looks better than Rogue.
It does look great. It does look great, but it's not Star Wars. Star Wars is next year. Episode 8.
What happened to Spectre Ops? I don't see it on the shelf anymore. Did I move it? It's right here.
Oh.
Oh, you can't see it, but you can see the bottom of it. Is that you or me?
It's my mom.
Is she worried about you?
Well, I'll let her know everything's fine. Hang on. Hi, I'm live on YouTube right now with Tom, so I can't really talk, but we're safe here, and so far everything's fine. I'll let you know if things get worse or not.
So while he's talking to his mom, some people said, how do you rate YouTube as a medium for your videos? Do you think it could be improved? And I think the answer to that is...
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to hit a little north of us.
Everything can be improved.
So hopefully we'll be good. But I'll talk to you a little later.
But YouTube seems fine as it is. Right. I like it. I like the fact that I can moderate the comments, which is good because sometimes comments are idiotic. But YouTube seems to be fine. Jason, does Mechs vs. Minions replace Robo Rally for you?
It doesn't replace it, but it joins it in awesomeness. Robo Rally was in my top 10. You can't replace it, but it's right up there. I love the programming mechanic. The fighting is not as exciting, but the programming mechanic is so cool in the game.
Someone here asked me what my hurricane preparation and evacuation plans are, and this is the same person who, by the way, sent me a video of Hurricane Andrew destroying
everything in this
Homestead,
area,
which I don't know how that was a very helpful video to send me. But here's the deal, folks. When it comes to these kind of disasters, when you see them all over the world, disasters are a big deal. But you got to be really cautious with the media. The media likes to use overhyped, over-sensationalized. Now, don't get me wrong. Hurricanes are extremely deadly, extremely big deal. But go to the source when you want to find out about these things. So, like for me, when I want to know how a hurricane's going to impact Miami,
you call Warren.
Well, that's true. I have a friend, but there's a Miami Facebook page where the Miami government comes and they say, this is what's going on. Those are the people. Or I talk to people who've lived in this area through Hurricane Andrew and say, what should we do? What do we do next? People are like, Tom, are you evacuating? Well, no, because we don't need to. Now, if we needed to, we would be
evacuating.
Are we prepared? I'm over-prepared for this one when it comes to like food and drink. I'm really prepared. I didn't need to be, as it turned out, but we try to be prepared for these things. And then you say safe. Well, of course we'll stay safe. We'll stay inside. Although we have gone out several times, but that's mostly because it's just drizzling out there. It could be super windy now for all we know.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be picking up as time goes by.
The cool thing is we could come up with a new segment for the show, Dice Tower on the Road, and do shows from everywhere else in all over the place if headquarters is knocked out.
I think I would have other things in my mind at that point.
I know, me too.
Is Jason disappointed that he isn't participating in Dice Tower's Seafall campaign?
Yes and no. Yes, because I really want to play it. No, because they've been saying that they don't like it. And
no, we like it, but...
So, I don't know, but I do want to play it at least once. I have a feeling I'm going to get time to play a game of it at the end with everything. I'll get to just play with everything at once.
Yeah, maybe. Have you ever heard a pitch so good for a game that turned out to be mediocre or plain bad? What game was that? Well, there's too many to count. So many times I'll go to a convention and the guy will be like, and I'll be like, ooh, sounds really fun. Then we play it, we're like, oh, not fun at all. That happens a lot.
I got pitched a game once. They were like, I know this amazing game. Do you like real estate? And I was like, yeah. They're like, how about building houses and hotels? What do you think? They pulled up Monopoly, and I was like, are you kidding?
What are the flaws of Catan?
Okay, some people bag on it, but I still think it's a great game. I have it ranked pretty highly in my
it's in my top 200 too. I think Catan is fine, but I think there is a few flaws with it. One flaw is
the randomness of the dice.
Yeah, okay, I guess that is true. I was going to say, if you are not careful, it's easy for a player to be functionally eliminated from the game due to proper placement at the beginning of the game.
Yes, because you could get
improper placement.
You could get cut off. Your roads could get cut off, and you have nowhere to go.
I also think that I've said this before. I don't think I would ever play the game as a basic game anymore. I would always play with either Seafarers or one of the minor expansions, like I really like Fishermen of Catan and things like that. I mean, just adding something to it. There's 50 little mini expansions for it. Yes. I'm not saying that to play with Cities and Knights. That's a whole extra thing. I'm not a huge fan of Cities and Knights, but there's a lot of smaller expansions. Back to the hurricane thing. Don't overly worry about us unless we tell you to overly worry. We're not trying to keep we're not like everything is okay and as you know the floodwaters are rising. We're not, but we'll tell you if things are bad. But right now they're not, but they could be. The hurricane is looking like it's going to make a loop.
There hasn't been enough winds that I was curious what it would be like to have 100-mile-an-hour winds in here and hear the whole house shaking. But luckily, we're not at that point here, so I think we're decently safe. They're saying it's going to probably hit about 50 to 60 miles north of where we are. Well, more like 80 or 90 from Tom, but 50 or 60 from me. So I think we're in a better location than it could have been worse, which is the good thing.
Tom, I know you tend not to choose your game nothing personal for lists, but would it honestly crack your top 200? For sure, it'd probably crack my top 100. It'd probably be near the bottom of my top 100, but I do like playing it. But I'm not going to put my own game on my own list. That seems really weird.
I might take it off of mine because I don't want to put Tom's games on my list anymore either.
Have you ever considered designing a game someone had asked earlier?
No, not at all. I mean, I enjoy playing.
I like to shake your hand.
What?
It's good to meet a gamer who doesn't feel like they need to design a game.
No,
Not everyone needs to design a game.
Yeah, just playing.
Are we going to play the TMNT game that comes out in a month? Like, is that the IDW one they're talking about from Kevin Wilson?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know which game they're talking about, but
We try to play everything, man.
yeah, I mean, it's Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're awesome.
Is this a specific person, you guys, game group, that you especially enjoy beating up on?
Besides Tom?
I don't know. There's just some people who it's fun to beat because their attitude. If I ever sit down and play a game with someone and that person's like, I got this. I'm like, oh man, we got to beat this guy now.
No.
It's almost always a guy too.
No,
Few females have that, like, I'll beat you guys. No, it's usually a guy, and he'll be like, I got this.
No,
like, oh yeah. Remember that guy we played? Was it Dead Last or?
Oh yes, the guy who like turned the game into we're gonna make our own group and do what we want.
He was like, oh, this game's broken. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna make you lose. Don't tell me this game's broken. He was like, I can.
He played it like a team game when it really wasn't. It was an individual game. But he's like, but someone from my side won. It's like, well,
yeah,
you didn't win.
He said, the person I wanted to win won. He basically king made on purpose, and then said the game's broken. I said, well, you can do that in any game. You know, well, not any game, but many games. I could just say, oh, here, Jason, I'll make you this lopsided trade. You won. I join your victory. That's garbage.
No, I think I don't beat up on anyone, but if someone's really, really slow, like to the point of crazy slow, I like to just beat their position down so they have less choices to make in the game. So, because if you beat them into a pulp, then they'll stop taking so long making their choices.
All right. Let's see here. Jason, what are your thoughts on Scythe?
I like it. I felt that some of the powers are unbalanced and some of the combinations are really unbalanced. But I do like it. I just think that there's some unbalanced things in the game, and some powers are much stronger than others. So it's not one of my favorite games. I still like Viticulture the best out of his collection.
Let's see here. Are we done reviewing Seafall? We're not. I just haven't played it for a while. We'll try to get it played. Let's see. Come on. Let's see.
Seafall will not be happening during Hurricane Con.
You know what? If Sam, Z, and Derek came over, I might pull it out just so you can see how it works. That you might find that interesting, right? And you could join Derek's team because he keeps saying we're kicking up on him, and you'd be like, all right, fine.
Let's power these guys out of here.
And then that would be the last time you play with us. But let's see. Okay, I'm looking for like some. Again, remember, some of you are asking the same question multiple times. Tom, I've attempted to play nothing personal with 3 different groups of people, and every game ended prematurely with someone rage quitting. Are you prepared to apologize to me? I'm very sorry. Someone rage quit in 3 different games? Okay, here's what I think. There are many games of nothing personal that have been played. When you play these games and someone rage quits, we have to say, what are the common denominators? The game is what you have chosen to concentrate on. But I've seen many games, nothing personal, not end with someone rage quitting. However, I've noticed that you have been involved in all 3 of these games. So maybe you're the reason people are rage quitting more than the game. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's a possibility. Might not be the game. Could be you. It's probably the game.
He's defending the game now. I love this. Actually,
I'm not saying it's no.
I want to role play this out here. Pretend I just backstabbed Tom in a game of Nothing Personal, and I don't know. I did something that took all your
out
pieces.
into the hurricane with you.
Nothing personal, Tom.
Oh.
You just have to say nothing personal when you do those backstabs in the game, and then they realize that it's just a game.
Okay. Can we critique our favorite games? I know that a lot of people get on my case about this before, but I don't have any criticism against Cosmic Encounter other than I will acknowledge it's not a game for everybody. But other than that, I have no qualms. Other than Machine Card, you should rip that up. Which I have. For a very specific reason.
I can totally critique 1830. I know that a lot of people think that it's long and drawn out and very mathy, and so I can see why a lot of people don't like it. But regardless of that, I still love the game and I'll play it anytime someone pulls it out. So, I don't mind long, mathy, boring games, as people would say, or some people would say.
Sam says, Tom, if you strip away the boosted component quality of Mechs vs. Minions, is the game worth $75? Is it still that good? I could turn that question on every game behind me. If I took out the component quality, no game's worth $75, just a bunch of piece of paper and stuff. So, is a component... So, I know what people are trying to ask. They're trying to say, you're being impressed by the component quality.
My answer is yes, because what you pay for, you don't just pay for components of the game. What you pay for in a game is you pay for the creativity put into it, the mechanics of the game, and that's what you're really paying for. When you pay for something, you're paying for the creativity, the concept, the mechanics.
But you also have to include the components. You also have to look at them. Like, for example, if I'm asked to pay like $90 and I open up the game and it's not very well produced, I might sit there and go, come on, what am I paying for? I'm paying just for the rules? I'm not paying $90 for these rules.
No, but I take the question as more of that it's asking, is the game that good of a game?
And it is. Almost every time that question is asked, people are trying to get us to say,
it's only because of the minis.
We don't like the game, it's because of the minis. That is undeniably not true. I really like the game. I really like the game. It's just the fact that it also has these amazing components, and it's also that cheap.
Yes, because I would have guessed the price of it would have been like $150. I mean, those Eagle Griffin games are $150, and the components in this are even nicer than those, and it's $75.
All right. Everyone is loving your mother currently.
She lives in New York. My family's from New York.
What's your mom's favorite board game?
I don't know. I haven't... Scrabble. I mean, my mom loves Scrabble. That's the game we used to play the most, was Scrabble growing up, and my mom loves Scrabble. So yeah, Scrabble.
On interesting, you can't buy them a game. Who would be the easiest of the Dice Tower to buy a present for?
I think Tom, because I know what he likes outside of gaming. So, I could buy him like a Food of the Month club and have an item of food sent here every month.
That would be amazing.
And he would be happy.
That is what I need to ask for.
He would
my
be happy
kids.
as pie. In fact, Pie of the Month club would be even better.
Man, pie. I can't tell you why I was just thinking about pie, because it has something to do with the future. But man, you're right. Pie is just amazing. We're really getting out of... we only have a few more questions, and we're going to shut this down because we want to get back to gaming. Everything I'm doing mini Dice Tower cons in a row? Not really.
We're doing them on a cruise ship instead.
That's right. We've been talking about the cruise. Actually, is there still a room open?
There's 2 rooms that have just become available.
What? 2?
One's a balcony, one's an inside. So if you want to get on, there's still a chance to
Guys,
get on.
I know this is kind of last minute, but seriously, the inside room is a really good deal, too.
$999.
That's for 2 people.
You're paying less than Royal Caribbean prices at this point.
Yeah, seriously.
Royal Caribbean prices are higher than what you're paying for this cruise. There's no surcharges, there's no upcharges. $999 for 2 people on this cruise. And the balcony is $14.99. So either way, you're in good shape.
So if you want one of those rooms, go to coolstuffinc.com. call their customer service and you can get that. Now,
Wait
don't call them today
wait
or
on the
tomorrow.
inside, and wait on the inside because officially the inside person hasn't canceled yet, so I have to rearrange a few things. But the inside will be available in a few days, once this hurricane ends, or maybe after Essen, depending if I get to it before or after Essen. But the inside, there's an inside available and a balcony available, so there's space for 2 more groups to come join us, and we're gonna have an amazing time.
Jason, have you ever taken a begging token in Agricola?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
On purpose or?
No.
Really?
Because I didn't have enough food, and I couldn't get enough food, and
I did it my first game. My first game, I was like, blah, 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 and they're like, begging. I was like, I'll take begging tokens. They're only minus 3 points. I didn't realize just how many points that was.
do you know what it is? It's because when you start putting out a lot of those, what are they called? Not the major and minor improvements, the other ones, the occupations. You start putting out all the occupations, you get excited about them, and you're occupation after occupation, you're like, oh wait, I never got food to feed people. Uh-oh. And you have 14 cards and you want to play them, and then you realize that you have to do other things in the game.
All right, well, that looks, Jason, would you ever move back to NYC?
I don't know at this point. I mean, obviously, if I lost my job and had to do things, I would do it. But
NYC.
I love New York. I mean, there's things I like about both. Obviously, the things I don't like in New York was the winter, the weather, the snow, having to dig your car out. But we're sitting here close to a hurricane at this point, so there's not always the great weather here, and it's I don't know. I mean, I have a house here now, and I have a home here, and I have friends here, and I don't know. We'll see what the future brings.
Well, folks, that's an hour of questions. There's a chance there'll be another live Q&A tomorrow, because why not? We'll see. It all depends. We still know
because we're gonna be locked in
tomorrow.
this house for the next 50 hours straight from the hurricane.
What? 50 hours? You live in your car. All right. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
Jason Levine.
And you've been watching The Dice Tower. Ah!
Uh-oh, the hurricane hit us.
There's games! There's games!
The hurricane hit us.
Games! And microphones! And we need a towel. You just gave like half the people on the internet a heart attack, probably. All right, let's...
Or wait, maybe the roof is leaking.
I'm surprised you're okay with this. Oh, because they're not your games. But
yeah,
actually, we probably
if they
should
were
get
my
a towel.
games, I'd be crying right now.
All right.
Actually, if this happens to my games, come tomorrow, I'd be crying.
All right. So anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. La di da da da.